In today's video, I want to run you guys through a brand new PlayStation Store flash sale. Kind of randomly dropped, but a couple of great deals a part of this flash sale, so we'll have a look at that. Also, I want to give you guys a look at the PlayStation Store's top downloads for the month of April. Might be a little bit surprising to you guys in terms of what games were ranked where, but we'll go over that. And also, it looks like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 will be the new Call of Duty game this year. Robert Bowling is dropping a lot of teases over on Twitter, and we'll look at that, and hopefully we get an official announcement rather soon, since of course the game is going to be released later this year. It's already May, E3 is coming up, about time we get the announcement of the Call of Duty release for this year, so we'll look at that at the end of this video. First up, let's have a look at the brand new PlayStation Store flash sale. A lot of good deals as a part of this sale, kind of going a little bit under the radar with all of the other deals that have been recently running with the Villains Takeover sale and the Golden Week sale. This sale definitely not as big, only around 50 game deals, but nonetheless a couple of good ones. Battlefield 5 is 50% off for $29.99. That's pretty good. I mean, I've seen the physical copy of BF5 as low as $19.99, but digitally this game usually holds up at $30. I believe I've actually seen it digitally as low as $24, but ever since the release of Firestorm, it has been holding up. If you want a quality Battlefield experience, you'll definitely find that here. You've got a quality single-player campaign. The multiplayer's got a ton of depth to it, and of course, for you Battle Royale buffs out there, you've got that as well. I just think if you're solely buying this game for Battle Royale, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, as it's usually been accustomed that Battle Royales are more free experiences, but the single player and multiplayer is still there alongside Battle Royale. And of course, a game like PUBG is a notable paid Battle Royale. You guys get the idea though. $30 for it is pretty good. There is also the deluxe edition for $39.99, so that's something you guys can also look at. Call of Cthulhu is 50% off for $29.99. That's pretty good given that this game isn't all too old, and it was holding up in price for a little while. A game that definitely wasn't worth that full $59.99 price point, but at $30, it is much more palatable. The game is set in 1924. You play as a private investigator sent out to look into the tragic death of the Hawkins family on the isolated Darkwater Island. It's a pretty trippy game. It builds a great atmosphere, definitely more reliant on its storytelling, but a quality game nonetheless, and if you've been eyeing it for a little bit, now that it's available for $30, that's not all too bad. Probably the best deal as a part of this entire sale, Devil May Cry 5 is actually discounted on the PlayStation Store. I believe it's the first time the game has been discounted on PSN. We've seen a couple of discounts on the game physically, but actually I believe this is the best deal we've seen on the game altogether. When it goes on sale physically, it's usually around $45. Well, right now, Devil May Cry 5 is 34% off over on the PlayStation Store, bringing it down to $39.59, which is a pretty good deal. Now, of course, Devil May Cry 5 is a game that's definitely quality over quantity in that it's not a super long game. You can probably complete it in around 10 to 12 hours, but that entire 10 to 12 hour experience is high quality. $39 is still going to be a little bit steep for some people, but this is actually my game of the year for 2019 so far. I know I'm probably in the minority with that notion. I know many of you guys are pointing towards games like Sekiro, maybe Resident Evil 2, maybe even The Division 2, whatever the case may be, but I thought as a big fan of action games, Devil May Cry 5 was on another level. Great music, great action gameplay. The story's pretty good, although as far as Devil May Cry is concerned, it is a little bit zany, but that's to be expected. $39 again, a little bit on the pricey side, but I would say it's worth it. Divinity Original Sin 2 is also on sale. That's 35% off for $39. Divinity Original Sin 2 is a tremendous game. It's widely considered to be one of the best, if not the best PC RPG of all time. However, at $39, it's a little bit steep of a price point. Best Buy has actually got physical copies of this game readily available for $30, so I don't really know if you want to pick it up at this price point. If you really want the game digitally, this might be the only route to go, and the game is absolutely worth a $39 investment if you just want to assess it that way. $39 for Divinity Original Sin 2 is great. It offers so much content, so much gameplay. Unfortunately, but just for comparison's sake, Best Buy does have it for $30. So if you're okay with getting a physical copy, pick up the physical copy from Best Buy. If you want it digitally, $39 for it is still a pretty good deal, and given the content and gameplay you're getting for your money, oh, it is absolutely worth it. Next up, EA Sports UFC 3 is 70% off for $12 as well. That's a pretty good deal. The EA Sports UFC titles are pretty good. Generally some fun to be had with it, even if you're not a fan of the sport. If you just want to take advantage of the creation system and all the tools like that, it's pretty good, so I wanted to give that a shout. Guacamelee 2 is 40% off for $12. Guacamelee is an awesome game. It's a very charming Metroidvania. Metroidvania experience with some great visuals, great gameplay, and a lot of secrets in there as well. The presentation is incredibly charming, and if you want a more low-key Metroidvania experience, I think Guacamelee 2 would be a lot of fun. $12 doesn't make it the steepest discount, but still very much worth it for that price point. They do also have Guacamelee 2 complete with some additional content for $13.79. That's something to check out. They've got a bunch of sports titles on sale as well. Madden NFL 19 is 75% off for $15. MLB The Show 19 is 25% off for $45. That just came out, so that's why that's relatively expensive. Couple of other deals like Moonlight are 45% off for $11. One Piece World Seeker, which is a relatively recent release, 30% off for $42. Pretty good on that, although the game is a great. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition is 30% off for $35. You guys know how I feel about that game. That game is absolutely awesome, and I would give it such a strong recommendation. A tremendous JRPG with a great cast of characters, a lot of content. I can go on and on about that game, but that's one of my favorite JRPGs in recent memory, so I give that a strong recommendation. Also, the Heavy Rain and Beyond 2 Souls collection is 50% off for $19.99. That's not all too bad, although you can regularly find the Heavy Rain Beyond 2 Souls and Detroit Become Human collection, all three of those games, for like $30 physically, so if you want Detroit as well, that might not be a bad look to get that instead, but $20 for those two games aren't bad, although they were PlayStation Plus titles relatively recently. The Sims 4 is 80% off down to $8, which is really great. And then lastly, I do want to give a shout to Vampire, which is 60% off for $24. I really enjoyed that game. I thought it was one of the sleeper hits of 2018, and I wasn't expecting much going into the release. At this point, it is like a year old, so maybe you're of the mindset of it should be a little cheaper by now, but still, it's been holding up in price for quite a while, and if the game is of interest to you, I would give it a recommendation at that price point. They recently put out an update to add some new difficulty options. They added an even harder mode, which I would not recommend because the gameplay is not the strong suit of Vampire, but they also did add an easier mode where it puts more of an emphasis on the storytelling, and that's probably the way the game should be played because sometimes the gameplay is a little bit jarring, but nonetheless, Vampire for $24 I think is a relatively good pickup. So not a ton of deals as a part of this sale, but some highlights. Battlefield 5 for $30 is pretty good. DMC 5 for $39. I would highly recommend that. Divinity Original Sin 2 is a great game. It's just that it is cheaper if you buy it physically. EA Sports UFC 3 for $12 is great. Guacamelee 2 is very good for that price. Couple of sports titles. Tales of Vesperia for $35 is great. Vampire for $24 is really good as well. And The Sims 4 for $8. Can't go wrong with that. So a couple good deals as part of that. And The Sims 4 for $8. Can't go wrong with that. Outside of that, I also do want to quickly take a look at the PlayStation Store's top downloads for the month of April. So To Many Days Gone was the biggest release of April. However, it came in at second place. Mortal Kombat 11 came in at first place, and that game is really good. I know there was some controversy with some of the elements in the game, but if you judge it fundamentally as a fighting game, Mortal Kombat 11 is a tremendous fighting game. It's just that some of these elements that are being employed on not just fighting games, but a lot of games in nickeling and diming the gamer, that needs to stop ASAP. But if you actually assess Mortal Kombat 11 for the gameplay elements, yeah, it's a very good game. Number 2 was Days Gone. Number 3 was World War Z, so how about that? It seems like that game was a rather big success, and given that the studio also got a lot of upfront money thanks to Epic Games Store exclusivity on PC, I think we might be seeing more of that in the future. It wasn't received incredibly well, but if you want a solid co-op experience, you'll definitely find that there. Number 4 is Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, so good to see that do well. Number 5, MLB The Show 19. 6 is Minecraft PlayStation 4 Edition. Number 7 was Borderlands The Handsome Collection, so this does seem like a case of rising tides helping everyone involved with the announcement and revelation of Borderlands 3, the release of Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. It seems like just the anticipation and hype surrounding Borderlands has been increased, and Borderlands The Handsome Collection coming in at number 7. Hey, that's great. Number 8, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Number 9, Tom Clancy's The Division 2. That's still trucking along a month after its release, and number 10 was Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. As far as PlayStation VR titles go, to quickly go through that, number 1 was Beat Saber. That's been at number 1 for a little bit. Number 2 is Job Simulator. 3 is Super Hot VR. 4, Creed Rise to Glory. 5, Gun Club VR. 6, Angry Birds VR. 7, Killing Floor Incursion. 8, Drunken Bar Fight. 9, Borderlands 2 VR, so that again reemerges in terms of the PSVR titles. And then number 10 is Rick and Morty Virtual Reality. Free-to-play games were topped by Apex Legends and Fortnite, and then the PlayStation 4 themes, Borderlands The Handsome Collection theme, so that's pretty interesting as well. So those are the PlayStation Store's top downloads for the month of April. And lastly, already, I do want to give you guys a heads up that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 is probably going to be revealed very, very soon. Robert Bowling put out a very interesting tweet with a picture attached with him wearing a Call of Duty Modern Warfare shirt. However, the number of Modern Warfare was axed out, and somebody even asked him, where's the 3 at, Robert? He was wearing a Modern Warfare 3 shirt. The 3 was clearly edited out, and Robert Bowling responded saying, I don't know, it was there before. And you guys can see how he does before. Okay, so Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 is definitely coming. It's nearing completion. And then he concluded by putting out a tweet saying, I will let you down, I will make you hurt, of the famous Johnny Cash song 10/8/19. So it probably will be released October 8th, 2019. Hopefully we get the official announcement very soon, and I'm sure we'll see some gameplay of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 at E3. So I know Call of Duty, for a lot of you guys, has lost a lot of its luster, but it's still one of the biggest franchises in all of gaming. So good to see it's still trucking along there. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, right now, a pretty good flash sale running on the PlayStation Store. Couple of good deals available as a part of that. We went through the top downloads for the month of April, and it looks like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 will be announced pretty soon. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.